There's so many videos all over internet on what you can do to improve your skin, to get rid of acne, etc. But not a lot of videos talk about the hardships and the emotional toll or how exhausting it is to have acne. Because there's always that little part of your brain that is always trying to figure out what is going wrong. You're trying so many makeup products and skincare products. You try so many freaking things, and you know, it's like very similar to PCOS. You do so many things, and yet it is so individual on what works for you. And I've had a recent experience where my skin just decided to reverse Uno me, and I want to talk to you guys about all of this because in a way I'm so happy it happened to me, because it has been so many years since I struggled with my skin that I never really know what to tell you guys or what value to give you. But making this video has been so comforting for me, and I hope that you guys find a little bit of comfort in any of the things that I'm going to talk about. I hope you can relate, and like always, thank you for spending the next 30 minutes with me. So I want to talk to you guys about acne, because look at my face. It's not bad. It's not bad at all. I used to deal with really bad acne, like much more severe than this. But I got an extraction facial done, which if you don't know what that means, it's basically when you go to an esthetician or a dermatologist, they prick you with a very fine needle. Sometimes you don't have to, but regardless, they squeeze out every single closed comedome, whitehead, blackhead that you may have. And I had a ton. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit weird for me to talk about this, like to talk about acne, because I've always been known, I mean, not always, but for the past few years, I've been known to have such great skin, and now this is happening. So it's like, what is going on? So yeah, it's like, what the hell is going on? But the answer is very simple. Yeah, can you tell the mountain of clothes? Ooh, that's all sweaters. I want to be comfortable. I don't want to be naked standing in the middle of my room. Let me put something comfy on. Let's put on a robe. So making this video is like a little bit weird because I've given so many skin tips, and I've become known for having good skin. Like, I've always been asked what my skincare is, what do I do for acne, and I've been having a lot of issues with my skin since I started to track it. It happened in January, believe it or not. I started to get texture on my forehead because I over exfoliated. I received a product that was amazing. It was a gentle exfoliant peel. It's called like the cashmere peel. It is amazing. And I got so excited by how beautiful my skin looked, I tried to use it twice a week. Why did I do that? Because I'm a genius. And it disturbed my skin barrier. One sec. Okay, so much better. But now where am I gonna put you? In my bra? I guess you'll be here. I got this little robe for Lucas, and he uses benzoyl peroxide, which I will talk about, for acne. And now it's like stained orange. Yay. That's the one thing that really pisses me off about benzoyl peroxide. It is so good for acne, but you cannot have those nice beddings or sheets. Everything has to be white. But whatever, it works really well. What was I saying? I'm the queen of distraction. It's ridiculous. You guys should like be on a work call with me with my team. It's definitely something I'm not proud of in those situations, but sometimes it kind of makes sense. And we get to places and we hop over issues quite quickly because my brain functions very differently. Either way, back to what I was saying. That was the beginning of me. That was the beginning of my problem. I started to damage my skin barrier, and I got a facial because I read on a magazine that Emily in Paris, when she's shooting in Paris, she goes to a specific place to get a facial, and it was right next door. And they also do like the skin assessment. They take a picture of your entire skin. They tell you all the things that you have to do, and it's science. And you know me, like when it's about science, I get excited. So I went, I paid for it all myself, and it destroyed my skin. And ever since then, I've had a lot of issues with my skin. And I've tried to build up the barrier, but guys, I have acne-prone skin. It is in my genes. So I had to pull back from using benzoyl peroxide and mandelic acid every day. And by doing that, I did heal my barrier. I didn't exfoliate. So I started to get a ton of closed comedones and texture, which is what I am prone to. I rarely get a pimple. Like I'll get a pimple every once in a while for whatever reason. But closed comedones, blackheads, whiteheads, that is the story of my life. And I know that if I don't exfoliate or help my skin with acids or with a mask, with, actives, I'm not going to be clear and I'm going to have texture. Well, I didn't use actives for over a month. and I started to have all this very deep, deep texture that wouldn't go away. I had it all on my forehead, but I could manually extract it myself. I know how to do this so well without leaving any scars. Super gentle, never had an issue. But around my cheeks, I cannot do that, and I cannot see my cheeks properly or around here. So I wanted to go to an esthetician. I asked a lot. Oh, no, wait, backtrack. I went to my dermatologist in Beirut. She gave me different. She gave me two things. Different and, where's the other offender? No, where is it? It's retinol. So the one for acne. Sure as hell, I did not want to use retinol. I started with different first. It helped me purge everything from my forehead, and it worked really well. As I was extracting, things would come up, I would take care of them, and look, forehead's doing better. Every time I go closer, this camera's like, sorry. Either way, my forehead finally, after like a month and a half of being ashamed of the texture, because again, you know, I don't want to look bad or like I have acne, because then I feel like an imposter, which is something that I have to teach myself to stop doing, because even if I do get acne because I have a PCOS flare, it's fine. PCOS is forever and flares are normal, but I still feel like an imposter. So I would hide a little bit. I wouldn't go out as much. I quickly got over that and I kept going out and I'm like, shut up. And then I would be like a little bit ashamed because I wouldn't want to look at Lucas like very closely, and I wouldn't look at him in the eyes for long times, like confidently like I used to. And then I was like, Mila, shut up. I trained that out of me. And well, I also said, fuck it. If I'm going to use different, let me use it all over my face. I'm going to go through a purge. I'm aware of it, but c'est la vie. So I started to use it around my cheeks, and my God, the texture that came out. It was a lot. I knew that it would speed up the process if I got extractions. I searched for a dermatologist. The next opening that they had was like one in September, the other one in December. What the fuck? But an esthetician. The best one I found, she's not open until the end of July, which I will not be here. And then there was a studio that was referred to me, but this Brazilian studio. They do acne facials. They had crazy before and afters on their Instagram. A lot of people go to them. They're incredibly expensive, but I was like, you know what? I feel like they will do a good job. Let's go test it out. Well, look at me now. I feel like they did a good job. They got the extractions. It was very painful. The chemical peel that went afterwards burnt a lot. But I know from experience and seeing the best estheticians in the fucking world, in the US and also in New York, nothing should ever burn as much as it did. It should be like a gentle burn. Skincare should never burn. And extractions should not be that painful. So I feel like they were way too aggressive. I'm very lucky because my skin heals nicely. I don't think I'm gonna have any scars or hyperpigmentation. But I just want to talk to you guys about my entire acne journey, because the amount of money that I have spent on creams, the loss of time that I have spent on Reddit forums, TikTok, YouTube, reading what girls did to clear their acne, buying, like I don't even have, I need a box to show you guys the amount of creams that I freaking bought to try to clear up what I had reminded me of what I used to do when I was younger. And it also reminded me of how I used to hide. By that I mean, you know, this is day 4. I'm speaking to you guys and I have a little bit of makeup on, so it's not that bad. I'll put a picture of what I looked like a few days ago. I didn't want to leave my house, and I got this done on Wednesday. It was Friday night. I still looked crazy, but I wanted to go out. I wanted to go buy some things. I wanted to go get ice cream, do all these things with Lucas, and I found myself putting them off, hiding, and I started to strategize, wait, but if I wake up early tomorrow and I go at 10 in the morning, which is when the store opens, less people will see me. Or if I go at 11 p.m. to this food spot that I love, it's gonna be almost closing hours and there won't be that many people. And I would have missed the crowds. And this kind of broke my heart because that's what I used to think like my entire teenage years when I actually had a lot of acne on my face. I would literally strategize my days in finding ways that I could avoid people. And I was so ashamed of my acne that when my dad would come home, because I grew up and I would only see my dad on the weekends, and when I would see him, I would literally never come out of my room because I was so ashamed to look at him. And I was like, oh my God, I want my dad to, he never sees his daughter. I only ever wanted to impress him. And I was so ashamed that I had acne. I was like, he cannot know that I have acne. He cannot see me in this state. And so I would hide from him too. And now that I realize it is so sad. But for me, the most dangerous part of all of this is that it felt right. And I isolated myself from so many people and so many triggers that would make me feel self-conscious or uncomfortable or ashamed. And that is something that I've done all my life, and I've always had to fight to recognize, first of all, because I feel fine, I'm still checking the list, I'm going to the store, I'm still going to these places. Like, my acne is not impeding me from doing what I have to do, but in a way, I'm going out of my way to I'm isolating myself through that experience. Recognizing that has been very difficult because I've done that with acne, with people. I'm somebody of very little friends. Partly because it's very difficult for me to relate to a lot of people just because of the things that I've gone through at a very young age. Also because I've been fucked over so many times that I'm very, very picky with who I share my life with, my stories, my secrets, all these things. I've been backstabbed a lot. And the problem is I don't go out of my way to make friends or to nurture relationships or friendships because I want to avoid them backstabbing me. So I'm avoiding that trigger. The same with my acne. I would avoid going to the store at peak hour during at noon where everybody's getting lunch or getting a snack or whatever. I would avoid putting myself in those situations so I wouldn't have to go through an uncomfortable moment. I avoid myself nurturing friendships with girls or with people that I meet because I'm afraid that I'm gonna be hurt like I was last time. And I'm the issue. I'm the issue here because the reality is nobody gives a fuck about my skin. And I had to remind myself that. So this weekend, I went out, the first time I put on makeup, and I realized how uncomfortable I was. And I even did my hair in a way that it would be like this. And I went to dinner. And you know how annoying it is to eat with your food, when you eat like this. Do you know how annoying this shit is? It was horrible. And I realized, what am I doing to myself? For who? So the server doesn't see this shit? No one gives a fuck. And it took me that very uncomfortable dinner to realize, what am I doing? And then every day after that, I haven't given a shit. And I've gone out with my skin looking crazy. And it's not even crazy. I also have to touch the fucking grass. This is nothing. But building that internal confidence through a difficult way or whatever helped me until I also started to story it. Oh, 1 second. Goddamn police. Always. At every hour. What was I saying? Yeah, I don't know. Fuck. Sorry. What was I saying? Why am I standing here like I'm giving a speech? My God. Oh. Let's go back down. What am I doing? Lucas is not home. Can you tell? I don't know what to do with myself. Joking. I do. No, I don't. I can't believe it. I don't know what I was saying. Well, what I think... where was I? So, yes, I remembered. Cheeky winky. So I shared my entire journey, my skincare facial thing with you guys. And I started to get so many messages of girls saying, you have no idea how much confidence your stories are giving me. And thank you for normalizing this and not being afraid and not hiding. And I was like, oh shit, that's all I needed. Sometimes having somebody that can relate with you changes everything. And that's a key thing that I never had growing up. My mom had perfect skin. I have never seen this woman have one pimple. And I asked her when I was growing up, when I was having all these skin issues, she just took me straight to the dermatologist. That never really helped me. Because they give you creams and they don't tell you how to properly use them. I don't even want to talk about that. I went through a series of estheticians and dermatologists that would prescribe me clinical grade skincare, extremely expensive, but again, there was no education. So I would just destroy my skin barrier with all these things. And, even though my mom would take me to these places, she could never give me any advice because she never had acne, even when she was young. And I was like, fucking hell. My mom is perfect. She has no hair. She's not hairy like me. She has no issues with her hormones. She's perfect. And so my dad was the one that I got the acne from. He went on Accutane. Or before Accutane, there was maybe something similar to it. Or I don't know. But when he was a teenager, he went through Accutane. It cleared his acne completely. So he again was like, oh shit, I don't even wash my face. And I never have. So no help. I feel like if I would have had somebody to talk about it with, or somebody to look up to, an influencer to look up to, that nowadays there's so many that show their scars and their skin and their acne, I would have probably been so much more confident, and I wouldn't have hidden for so many years of my life. But what I will say is this experience, it's been so many years since I've had issues with my skin. I'm kind of happy that I went through this because it kind of humbled me in a way. Because the moment that I got clear skin through the most brilliant esthetician I've ever gone to, this old lady that was the meanest person in the world, she literally told me, if I'm gonna be your esthetician and you're gonna enter my training boot camp, she gave me like this packet, told me everything I had to do and I couldn't do. She said, if your skin is not getting better by the next time I see you, it's because you're not doing what I'm telling you to do, and you will be kicked out of the program because I have kids to help that need more help than you. Yes, ma'am. She was tough, but I understood. I was 16 years old, 17 or 18? No, I think, yeah, I was 18 when I saw her. So up until I was 18, I had acne all my life. And I had just had the Mirena IUD, and that gave me the worst skin breakout of my life. I thought I would never have good skin. Let me tell you one thing, guys. I never thought I would be able to model. Funny thing is, if you don't know, I ended up modeling for a few years in New York. Thank God, because it helped me pay my bills when my life went to shit. But I never thought I would be able to be a model because I had body acne all my life. I had acne on my butt, and I still struggle with it sometimes because of folliculitis. When I would shave, I would have ingrown hairs in the back of my thighs that would scar. I have excess body hair. I did laser on my arms. It changed my life. Like used to be bullied from how much hair I had on my arms. And I've had so many issues with my skin that I said, I will never be on a magazine, or I will never be a model. I will never be able to be an actress. I could never, I would see girls like in a movie. You know, when I was little, I wanted to be a singer, I wanted to be an actress, I wanted to do everything. Like I would see stars and I'd be like, wow, like that is the dream, no? But when I would be watching these movies, I would say, fuck, like that shot of her just walking on the beach or walking in the room, I would never be confident enough or comfortable enough to do that, because the moment they would see my skin, I'd lose the job. So all my life, I always thought I was so limited and I would never be able to do all these things. And it was for 18 fucking years that I thought this. I never loved my skin. I never loved my body either. But when I met this woman and she taught me everything I had to know, and she did all of these extractions on me, taught me the entire face reality program, taught me what mandelic acid was, how to use benzoyl peroxide, and how to introduce these actives so that you don't have a reaction. Guys, I had clear skin for the first time in my life and I couldn't believe it. And I got a lot of extraction facials during this time, which really helped the purge. Like I didn't really have a purge because she was low-key manually purging it for me with chemical peels. And it changed my life. I also learned about Hybe Cleanse and how that is an antibacterial soap that they usually give you before a surgery. So it's an antiseptic, so it kills bacteria for 24 hours once you put it on your skin. You don't want to use it too much because then you can create a resistance, and it's not good because you have like bacteria on your skin that is also healthy and it's good for you. But I learned about all these things. I started to really take care of my body, of my skin, my face, and that confidence came back. And it's like I entered a new me. I completely forgot about all the struggles that I used to go through. And I was just so happy to finally flip the page and be in the place that I never thought I would be. And it's like I forgot about the old me that used to go through all these issues. And it's not that I forgot about her, but I just didn't give a fuck to even think about her anymore. This little experience, I think it was necessary for me to go through it because I never fully digested or did like internal therapy to process all those years in my life that I went through having a bad self-image. And so I wish I could just go back to me and first of all tell her, stop copying every freaking routine that you see online. It will never work. Salicylic acid for me destroys my skin, even though it's like one of the best things you can use. Glycolic acid, now I've learned, fucking hate it. Like my skin hates it. Azelaic acid, I don't know, it hasn't really done wonders for me either. This toner, this Korean skincare, this SPF, these things, I had to learn the hard way that once you find something that works for your skin, no matter if it's trendy or shitty and the packaging is ugly, just stick with it. If a new toner comes out, but you already love the one that you use and your skin loves it, don't even listen. Say, good for them. I'm good. Our skin is so delicate. I wish I could go back and tell me, let's stop. I don't need a cashmere peel. I never needed it. Fuck. I didn't need that facial from Emily in Paris. I didn't need it. And now look at me. Consumerism got me. But it's okay. I'm getting better. It was a pricey lesson. And I can't wait to go back to normal. Yeah, what else do I want to say? You know what I hate is that every time I talk to you guys, once I press end recording and like an hour goes by, I always go, fuck, I should have said this. Shit, this would have been amazing. Or this would have been so much better. Oops, whatever. Okay, let me think for 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes. If there's anything I will regret not telling you guys. No. Another edit, I fell asleep editing this video. Yes, one thing I forgot to frickin' mention. There's so much noise, I'm so sorry. My next video will be... This is in the shower. My next video will be on my skincare, and I finally figured out the root cause of why I had all this acne. And now, guys, everything is much better. My skincare routine has changed dramatically, but we figured it out, and I will be talking to you guys about every single thing that I bought. I will be showing you all of my products, showing you my skincare, and everything, all like the little details of that. So if you're hoping that this would happen during this video, I'm so sorry to let you down. I did do a little product review in this video, but I had to delete it because it was just not accurate, and I don't want to give you guys any BS. I thought it was right, but a week later after I filmed this, no, we found the culprit. Ciao. I genuinely, look, A for effort. I tried. I think this is as much as I can think of in this moment. But since we're on the topic of self-image, I'm not gonna lie, I've thought about getting Botox and getting filler, getting a little lift on my jaw and fixing the scar that now has like I have a, remember, I mean, if you knew, remember, but I had a huge infection and abscess on my neck. I have this scar here from the incision, and I have many incisions in the inside of my mouth because that's how they wanted to do it first, because I was modeling at the time. Sorry, the hell was that? Yeah, well, I didn't want to do an incision from the exterior. After 6 surgeries, it had to be done, but it's pulled some of my skin internally, and I was like, should I get it done? Should I get it corrected? Should I get this like Kybella? Because I have loose skin under here. It's genetic, it runs in my family. Even though I have a good jawline, I'm like, oh my God, should I tighten my jaw? Should I do this new therapy? Should I do all these things? And I want to look like this person. And when I like talk, like I overuse the muscle here and it comes down. Should I like tighten it? Should I do all these things because I want to look like her? And then I fucking realized I need to touch grass. What the fuck? Our phone is a weapon. We have in our hands a military grade weapon. We can start a war from our phones. We can ruin people's lives from our little phone. We can also change lives, and we can also really badly damage our mental health and our own lives based on what we choose to consume. And I have to remind myself that all the time. I don't need any of those things. I am young. I am not against plastic surgery. A lot of people in my family have gotten plastic surgery. I think like everybody has gotten, almost everyone has gotten plastic surgery, and they all look amazing and they feel so confident, and I've seen it firsthand. It can really improve your quality of life, especially when you're older, things start to sag. Gravity is not it's not our friend. So it's not that I'm against it, but there's times for things, Like, remember the whole blepharoplasty talk thing? You know, I believe that whatever you choose to do to your body, to your skin, surgery, whatever, it is between you, your doctor, and God. Don't ever give a fuck about what anybody thinks. Not me, nobody. But at the same time, think about why the hell you're doing it. Is it because you truly, genuinely need that surgery because this defect that you may have is bothering you every single day? That's a pretty good reason. Because when you correct it, you're gonna have a pretty good day every day, or a better day. But if it's because of social pressure, if it's because this girl looks amazing and she got it done, and you wanna look like her, take a step back, because you're already beautiful. And I have also seen my perception of beauty change dramatically as I've gotten older. My beauty standards from when I was a teenager are so much more different than what I value and I see as a beautiful woman today. I met this woman in Beirut. I feel like some of the most beautiful women in the world live in Beirut. I don't know what water they're drinking there, but fucking hell, they're stunning. Either way, I met this woman from Beirut, and to this day I speak about her. And I told Lucas, I'm like, who the hell is she? This woman is so drop dead gorgeous. I still think about the moment I met her, and it's been 4 years. 3 years. And I still remember everything she was wearing. I remember her hair. I remember her eyes, her beautiful face, because I've never been so impacted by someone that was so beautiful. And guys, her teeth were stained yellow from how much she smoked. She was full of wrinkles on her face, but her confidence and her beauty and how natural she was and how beautifully she had aged was unbelievable. And I was like, fuck, I want to look like that. Fuck Botox and looking like this. I want to look like her. She looked like she had lived and she had seen and gone through a lot of shit. And yeah, I learned that she traveled all around the world. She's an artist. But the impression, the first impression I had of her was, holy fuck, I have to learn about this woman. She is unbelievably stunning, captivating, and natural. And for me, that was, I've met probably the most beautiful woman in the world in like Hollywood and, people that have gotten $100,000 facelifts. They were very beautiful, but they didn't have this impression of this woman that I met. And she's like she's a normal woman. And that shocked me to the core. And I really I am just so happy that I crossed paths with her, because she took the fear out of aging, took out the fear of aging to me. Oh my God, my English. I'm no longer afraid to age after seeing her. And I hate that word, aging. I hate how every time that we're sold something on a magazine or in the streets, it's never a woman with acne. It's never a woman that has hyperpigmentation, and it's never an older woman. It's always young girls, teenagers or young 20s. And I really fucking hate that. And I've learned to fall in love with older women. They're fucking cool, man. And there's so many that own it, and there's also so many that just give up or they hide. And I feel bad for those. But the ones that own it, holy, I love them. So yeah, I don't know where this conversation has gone. See, I always derail a little bit, a lot. It's unfortunately who I am. Not unfortunately. Fuck, got me. It is what it is. But yeah. So if you struggle with acne, with any skin issues, or you don't feel comfortable in your skin, you are not alone. And I hate to say it, but truly, in the grand scheme of things, we are a tiny little crumb in a massive motherfucking galaxy. It is gonna get better. You can fucking do it. Building that internal confidence it's your weapon. Do not self-isolate like I have always done in my life, and I still fucking do it to this day, because you want to, through exposure therapy or speaking to a loved one or a friend that might, or even like an online friend or an influencer that has gone through the same thing, creating that internal confidence will help you stop isolating yourself, and you will create new, I am not a neurologist or psychologist. I don't know what I'm about to say. God forgive me and if this is incorrect, but you will form new wirings and behaviors and habits in your brain that are much more healthy than what you are doing right now, or what I am doing right now, which is isolating myself to prevent myself from being hurt, to prevent myself from being in an uncomfortable situation. And this is one of the things that I want to do this year. I need to remind myself that being backstabbed, being hurt, or feeling betrayed, or being let down, disappointed, whatever, it is part of life. And I have to build that callus. And I'm not going to let my fear of being put in these situations or putting myself in these situations, you get it. I'm not going to let that keep me isolated in my little house. Use how busy I am with work to prevent myself from connecting with friends. And I feel like this weekend I did a good job of that when it came to my skin. But I feel like even if you don't have acne issues, or if you do, or whatever, if you have the same habits as me, just remind yourself that we can do hard things. And you deserve to experience life, to meet as many people as you want. No, that's a weird thing to say. You deserve to explore friendships without fear. And if shit hits the fan, that's okay. You will come stronger out of that situation, and you're gonna form a callus and you're gonna keep going. But you're not gonna stop midway and just chill. No, we keep going forward together, because I'm doing that too. I'm learning. Yeah, I think that's a good way to end things. I think that's good. Okay, well now, it's Sunday night. I need to pack up and clean my house because tomorrow morning it's work until, some 11, 12 p.m., right? a.m., 12 a.m. That's always bothered me. 12 p.m. noon, 12 a.m. night? Doesn't make sense because it's 11 a.m. and 12 a.m. Regardless, I need to make sure my house is super clean because during the work week, I don't even have time to vacuum. Launch is coming very soon. I am so excited. So freaking excited. Guys, what is coming is all thanks to you. And I really, really hope that you're proud because this was very difficult to do. And I'm very excited for you guys to see it. Okay, well, I'm gonna go. I love you. Hope you have a great weekend. And ciao. Ciao. Wait, no. Always, we end with Mimiki. Say goodbye. Say bye-bye. All right. Ciao, guys. Got a lot of fucking work.